Hello. Did you know that you could be destroying your body, especially your liver, with something that's supposed to be good for you? Without realizing it, you might be taking a supplement that could be doing you harm. In this video, I'm going to reveal 6 supplements that are sending thousands of people to the hospital in the United States, and in some cases, even causing death. And get this, these are common supplements that you might have used or even have in your home. So stick around until the end because this information could literally save your life. But before we get started, give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and share this video because it's super important. Also, comment below. Do you take any supplements? Are any of the 6 I'm about to mention among them? And where in the US or the world are you watching from? Let me know in the comments below. Now imagine this. You decide to make a change in your life. You're determined to get healthier, live longer, and ensure a better future for you and your family. This is the real-life story of Jim, a 50-year-old man, husband, and father of 2. Jim was just an ordinary guy, but with a constant concern weighing on him. He had watched his father suffer a heart attack at the age of 59, something that had a profound impact on his life. Naturally, he thought, I don't want that to happen to me. The fear of repeating his father's fate was real, especially because he knew what his father had missed out on. The joy of seeing his grandkids grow up, the special family moments, and the chance to live a fuller life. He had been taken too soon. This awareness is what motivated Jim to transform his life. He began taking care of his diet, cutting out fast food, opting for home-cooked and healthier meals. He even incorporated at least 30 minutes of exercise a day, 6 days a week. He was determined not just to live, but to live well. That's when he decided, like millions of other people around the world, to add supplements to his daily routine. After all, a little extra help couldn't hurt, right? The supplement he chose was a green tea capsule, something that promised incredible health benefits like weight loss, cardiovascular improvement, and even cancer protection. It was natural, something that had been consumed for thousands of years. Jim had no reason to doubt the safety of that little pill he took religiously every morning as part of his healthy routine. However, what Jim didn't know was that this seemingly harmless capsule had begun to wreak havoc on his body. What was supposed to be an ally in his wellness journey was, in fact, slowly destroying his liver. Have you ever considered that a supplement taken every day could be subtly and imperceptibly breaking your body down? Take a good look. Jim wasn't a careless man. He took pride in his healthy choices. But like many, he blindly trusted the promises of the supplements he was taking. And that's how he went months without realizing his health was in danger. Until one day, everything started to fall apart. And worse, it was on a special day, his son's graduation. For Jim, it was one of the moments he had long anticipated, a milestone he had promised himself he would witness. He was there, smiling and proud, standing next to his wife. But something seemed off. In the middle of the ceremony, his wife Kathleen looked at him and couldn't help but notice. "Jim, what's going on? Your face is yellow." He laughed it off and said he was probably just tired. But she insisted, "No, Jim, you don't look well. Your eyes are yellow. You look sick." Jim didn't think much of it at the time. After all, how could he be sick? He was taking care of himself, doing everything right. But deep down, that worry kept nagging at him. Had he ignored some signs? In the days that followed, he realized something was really wrong. The fatigue he had attributed to daily exhaustion wasn't going away, even after a good night's sleep. Constant nausea started to appear, and a persistent pain on the right side of his abdomen began bothering him. Still, Jim didn't think it could be anything serious. He kept up with his routine, believing it would pass soon. After all, he was healthy, right? But what he didn't know was that his liver was, by this point, beginning to fail. Of course, it was his wife who ultimately saved him. Days later, after relentless urging from his wife, he went to the hospital. At first, the doctors were puzzled. Jim didn't drink alcohol, didn't use drugs, didn't take any medications, and by all accounts, seemed to be a healthy person. But his blood work was all out of whack, especially his liver tests, which showed that Jim's liver was severely damaged. And the culprit? the green tea supplement he had been taking every day. The compound in these capsules, EGCG, was poisoning his liver. He never could have imagined that something so commonplace, sold in any pharmacy, could be so dangerous. And let me warn you, I always talk about avoiding supplements on this channel. Jim was on the verge of complete liver failure. After seeing a doctor, the verdict was in, you're going to need a liver transplant. And fast. The situation was critical, and from that moment on, Jim was in a race against time. He had to get on the transplant list. And there, he truly noticed his body growing weaker, his skin turning even more yellow, and his hope starting to fade. But miraculously, after just a few days, a matching liver was found. And the transplant was successful. Jim got a second chance at life. However, not everyone is so lucky. The truth is, the number of people needing liver transplants due to hepatotoxic supplements like Jim's is rising at an alarming rate. So what are the 6 most dangerous supplements for the liver? According to a study by the University of Michigan, published in JAMA this year, 2024, millions of Americans are consuming supplements containing ingredients that are potentially hepatotoxic, meaning they can lead to liver transplants just like what happened to Jim. And these supplements are popular for their promises of health benefits, but many users are unaware of the liver risks. Have you ever taken one of them? First supplement, turmeric or curcumin. Turmeric is fascinating. It has a lot of benefits, but the supplements, maybe not so much. That's why I say, put it in your food, avoid supplements. Turmeric is widely used for its anti-inflammatory and antioxidant benefits, and many people take it in capsule form to help with joint pain and arthritis. In the study, nearly 27% of users took it for these reasons. Although it's considered safe in small to moderate amounts, high doses of curcumin, especially in concentrated supplements, can stress the liver and, in rare cases, lead to liver toxicity. Second supplement, green tea, or EGCG. Green tea is fantastic. I try to drink green tea every day. It can boost energy, improve cardiovascular health, and even help with weight loss. However, drinking green tea is one thing, and taking an EGCG supplement, like Jim did, is a whole other story. When it becomes concentrated, it can be highly toxic to the liver. As in Jim's case, prolonged intake in high doses can lead to liver failure. Third supplement, ashwagandha. What's it for? This supplement is widely promoted as an adaptogen, helping the body deal with stress. It's also used to boost energy and improve overall well-being, even improve memory. But there's a risk. While moderate use seems to be safe, there have been cases of liver damage linked to ashwagandha, especially when consumed in high doses over long periods. Fourth supplement, black cohosh. What's it for? It's often used by women going through menopause to relieve symptoms like hot flashes and mood swings. But here's the danger. Studies have shown that black cohosh can cause liver inflammation, especially when taken for long periods. Cases of hepatitis and even liver failure have been reported. Fifth supplement, Garcinia cambogia. What's it for? Very popular among those looking to lose weight, Garcinia cambogia is promoted as a natural fat burner, supposedly helping to suppress appetite and block fat production in the body. However, studies have shown that Garcinia cambogia can be potentially dangerous for the liver. In some cases, users who took the supplement for long periods developed liver toxicity with symptoms such as jaundice, extreme fatigue, and abdominal pain. An increasing number of cases of liver failure and the need for liver transplants have been associated with the use of this supplement, especially in high doses. Sixth supplement, red yeast rice. What's it for? This supplement is widely used to help lower cholesterol levels. Red yeast rice can be highly harmful to the liver. Furthermore, red yeast rice is notoriously poorly regulated, and the level of monocolin K can vary drastically from one supplement to another, increasing the risks of its use. But it's much safer than statins, right? Speaking of statins, the risk of liver damage, including liver failure, is reported in about 1 in 100,000 statin users per year. In most cases, liver damage is mild and completely reverses after stopping the medication. Now I want to know, have you ever taken any of the supplements mentioned here? Do you know anyone who's gone through a situation similar to Jim's? Share your story in the comments. And look, Millions of people around the world are taking supplements, believing they are improving their health. But would you know how to recognize if your liver is in danger? The symptoms Jim faced are more common than you think. I recently made a video on this, but if you missed it, jaundice, that yellowing of the skin and eyes, frequent nausea and vomiting, extreme fatigue even after a full night's sleep, and pain on the right side of the abdomen just below the ribs. And the worst part? It's not always easy to connect the supplement to the symptoms. Just like Jim, many only find out when it's too late. The truth is, the number of people needing liver transplants due to toxic supplements is growing at an alarming rate, up 70% between 2010 and 2020. The transplant saved Jim's life, but the battle didn't end there. Even with a new liver, the damage caused by the supplements left permanent scars. Today, Jim lives with serious health complications. He developed chronic kidney disease, a direct consequence of the transplant complications and the assault on his liver. On top of that, he faces constant fatigue, frequent abdominal pain, and the possibility of needing dialysis in the future. Jim warns others about the dangers of unregulated supplements. He says, "I thought at worst I was wasting money on these products. I never imagined they could cost me my health and almost my life." Jim's story isn't unique. Millions of people are taking supplements every day, believing they're improving their health. The supplement industry is growing out of control, meaning you could be consuming dangerous substances without even knowing it. The lack of transparency and regulation makes choosing a supplement feel like Russian roulette with your health. If you or someone you love is taking supplements, be cautious. Don't blindly trust supplements or miraculous promises. Consult a doctor and make informed decisions to protect your health. If this video was helpful to you, share it with friends and family. This information could save lives. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to keep learning how to take care of your health safely and wisely. Turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any upcoming videos, where we'll continue bringing essential health information. And which video will you watch next? I'll share 3 relevant recommendations that are showing up for you. My video on the 5 forbidden foods for fatty liver and 10 best fruits for fatty liver disease, and my video on what happens to your body when you start taking omega-3 every day for 30 days, benefits and risks. Thank you for sticking with me until the end of this video. May God bless us with health and life. Let's work together to promote the well-being of everyone. Remember to subscribe to the channel and like the video. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much.